Welcome to the Justice Pro Network's Daily Deep Dive in 5. I'm your host, Aisha, joined by my co-host, Aidan. Today we're diving into a critical immigration topic that affects many couples, navigating USCIS marriage interviews, and what to do if you receive a notice to deny your case.
That's right, Aisha. This is a situation that can cause tremendous stress for couples going through the immigration process. Imagine sitting with your spouse during a USCIS interview when suddenly you're separated for questioning, and then later receiving a notice of intent to deny your marriage case. It's definitely a scenario nobody wants to experience.
Absolutely. And what's critical to know is that once you receive that notice, the clock starts ticking. You have just 30 days to respond, which means you need to act quickly and strategically.
The first step is to carefully assess what's in the notice. Why exactly is USCIS questioning the authenticity of your marriage? Were there inconsistencies in your answers compared to your spouse's? Understanding these specifics is essential for crafting an effective response.
And documentation becomes your best friend in this situation. You'll need to gather additional evidence beyond what you initially submitted to prove your marriage is genuine.
What kind of evidence works best in these situations, Aisha?
Great question. Photos that show your life together over time are powerful. Joint financial statements, shared insurance policies, and lease agreements with both names are crucial. Also valuable are affidavits from friends and family who can attest to the authenticity of your relationship.
I think it's worth noting that discrepancies in interviews aren't uncommon. Even genuine couples can provide different answers when they're nervous or under pressure.
Exactly. If there were inconsistencies during your interview, it's important to address them directly in your response. A well-written explanation memo can help clarify any misunderstandings and show USCIS that you're being cooperative and transparent.
What happens if someone misses that 30-day deadline to respond?
That's when things get particularly complicated. Missing the deadline typically results in an automatic denial of the case. This could mean having to file an appeal, or in some cases, starting the entire process over again. That's why meeting that deadline is absolutely critical.
It really highlights how important it is to work with knowledgeable immigration attorneys who understand these processes and can guide couples through what can be an incredibly stressful experience.
Definitely. The immigration process is complex enough, but when you add the emotional component of having your relationship questioned, it becomes even more challenging. Having proper guidance can make all the difference.
I think the takeaway here is that preparation is key, both for the initial interview and for responding to any notices afterward. Couples should gather documentation continuously throughout their relationship, not just when they're applying.
And remember that each couple's story is unique. It's not just about checking boxes on a form. It's about demonstrating the genuine connection and shared life you've built together.
That's an excellent point. USCIS is looking for authenticity, and that comes through in the details of your life together.
As we wrap up today's Daily Deep Dive in 5, remember that while this process can be challenging, understanding it is the first step towards successfully navigating it.
And for more resources on immigration, advocacy, and justice, visit justicepronetwork.com, where we continue to amplify stories of impact and positive change.
Thank you for joining us today on the Justice Pro Network's Daily Deep Dive in 5. I'm Aisha.
And I'm Aidan. We'll see you tomorrow with another important topic that matters to your life and community.